Let's talk about the housing market. If you've been following the headlines, you know it's been a wild ride over the past few years. From bidding wars that felt more like gladiator matches to open houses packed with desperate buyers, the dream of homeownership has been anything but simple. For many, the process was stressful, emotional, and at times, downright discouraging. For years, buying a house felt like a high-stakes game show, outbidding investors and crypto bros for the privilege of massive debt. People lined up outside open houses, ready to make offers tens of thousands over asking just to get their foot in the door. It was a frenzy, and it left many would-be buyers feeling left behind, priced out, or forced to settle for less than they hoped. But now, in September 2025, the market has finally chilled out, the fever has broken, and the frantic pace has slowed. Streets that once had sold signs popping up overnight now have homes sitting a little longer, giving buyers and sellers alike a chance to catch their breath. The chaos is gone, and we're left with something rare: balance. For the first time in years, neither buyers nor sellers have the upper hand. It's a market where negotiation matters again and where patience can pay off. Sellers can't just slap a price on a shed and expect a bidding war. The days of outrageous offers for fixer-uppers are over. Now, homes need to be priced right and presented well to attract serious buyers. It's a reality check for anyone who thought their property was a guaranteed goldmine. Buyers, you can breathe. There's more inventory, slower price growth, and mortgage rates have settled at a new, higher normal. While rates aren't as low as they were in the past, the frantic competition has eased. You can actually take time to consider your options, compare neighborhoods, and maybe even negotiate on price or repairs. Open houses are calmer, and you're less likely to be elbowed out by a cash offer from an investor. But don't get too comfortable. Affordability is still a challenge, and the higher mortgage rates mean monthly payments are steeper than many hoped. It's not a buyer's paradise, but it's no longer a blood sport. The playing field is more level, and that means both sides need to be smart, realistic, and prepared to compromise. If you're buying, you have more options but still face tough affordability. You'll need to budget carefully, weigh your priorities, and be ready to act when you find the right fit. The good news? You're less likely to be rushed into a decision you'll regret. If you're selling, it's time to be realistic. Your home isn't a golden ticket anymore. Pricing it right, making necessary updates, and understanding your local market are more important than ever. Gone are the days of multiple offers in a single weekend. The market is now a careful dance of compromise, where local knowledge and a single mortgage point can change everything. Working with a savvy agent, understanding your financing, and staying flexible are the keys to success in this new era. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned investor, or a homeowner looking to move, the landscape has changed. The rules are different, and the strategies that worked in the past may not work now. Tonight, we'll give you the map to navigate this new landscape. We'll break down what's changed, what to expect, and how to make the most of the opportunities and challenges of the great housing market hangover of 2025. Let's talk about the real fun killer, mortgage rates. If you've been dreaming of buying a home, you've probably noticed that the process feels less like a celebration and more like a roller coaster you never wanted to ride. Every headline, every rate update, it's enough to make your head spin. Gone are the days of ultra-low rates. Remember when you could lock in a mortgage for under 3%? That era feels like ancient history now, a distant memory from the pandemic years when borrowing was cheap and optimism was high. After peaking near 8% in 2023, rates have settled in the mid-6% range, still double the pandemic lows. For many, that's a huge jump, and it's reshaped what people can actually afford. Even a small change in rates can mean a big difference in your monthly payment. That 0.5% difference on a $350,000 loan? It might sound minor, but it adds up fast. Over the life of a 30-year mortgage, even a small rate hike can mean tens of thousands of dollars more paid in interest. It's over $100 a month, or $40,000 over 30 years. That's money that could have gone towards savings, vacations, or just breathing a little easier each month. For many families, that extra cost is the difference between buying now and waiting, maybe for years. Rents are also rising, so buyers face a tough choice: pay more to own, or keep paying ever-increasing rent. It's a classic catch-22. The cost of waiting can be just as painful as the cost of buying. Affordability is still the villain. High prices and rates mean homeownership remains out of reach for many. The dream of owning a home feels more like a moving target, always just out of reach no matter how hard you try to save. In some places, owning eats up more than half your income. that leaves little room for anything else: emergencies, retirement, or even just enjoying life. The financial squeeze is real, and it's forcing people to make tough decisions every day. Millions are stuck waiting for prices or rates to drop, or for a lottery win. The uncertainty is exhausting, and it's left many would-be buyers feeling powerless, watching from the sidelines as the market keeps shifting. For now, the math just doesn't add up for a lot of would-be buyers. Until something changes, whether it's rates, prices, or incomes, many will be left waiting, hoping for a break in this wild ride that nobody asked for. For years, house hunting felt like wandering through a desert. Options were scarce, and buyers were left scrambling for whatever they could find. But now, the landscape is changing. Inventory is finally making a comeback, and the market is starting to look a little more like it used to. This summer, there are 1.55 million homes for sale across the country, which is a significant 16% jump from last year. That means more choices for buyers, and less pressure to make snap decisions. You can actually browse listings, compare neighborhoods, and think about what you really want in a home. And it's not just existing homes. Builders are busy adding even more options to the market. New construction is popping up in suburbs and cities alike, giving buyers a wider range of styles, price points, and locations to choose from. For the first time in years, buyers can actually take a breath. You don't have to rush through a showing or make an offer in 3 minutes flat. Gone are the days of wild bidding wars and frantic over-asking offers. Now, you can tour homes, weigh your options, and make a thoughtful decision. Sellers, on the other hand, are seeing a different reality. Instead of a flood of 20 or more offers, most are getting just a couple of reasonable ones. The frenzy has cooled, and the process feels more manageable for everyone involved. With more competition among sellers and builders, buyers are gaining leverage. It's becoming common for sellers to offer concessions, like covering closing costs, buying down your mortgage rate, or agreeing to make repairs before you move in. Builders, too, are sweetening the deal to attract buyers. If you're a buyer, this is your moment. You have more power than you've had in years, so don't be shy about using it. Negotiate for what you want, whether it's a price reduction, extra credits, or upgrades to your new home. Don't hesitate to ask for credits at closing, or to request that the seller address repairs that come up during inspection. You can even negotiate for a better overall deal, since sellers are more willing to work with you to get their home sold. Inspections are your friend. Use them to your advantage. If repairs are needed, you have the upper hand to ask for fixes or a credit to cover the cost. The days of waiving inspections just to win a bidding war are fading fast. The power dynamic has shifted. It's no longer a panic-driven gamble where buyers have to act out of desperation. Instead, you can approach the process with confidence, knowing you have real options and time to make the right choice. So take your time. Ask questions, negotiate for what matters to you, and make the market work in your favor. This is your opportunity to buy smart, not just fast. The days of desperation and disappointment are over. You can finally enjoy the process of finding a home that truly fits your needs and your budget. Welcome to a more normal, balanced market, where both buyers and sellers can win. With more inventory and higher rates, are prices crashing? Not quite. We're seeing a slowdown in price growth, not a collapse. National home prices are up just 2 to 3%, a far cry from the double-digit gains of the boom. The era of your house making more than you do is on pause. But real estate is local. In places like Austin and Phoenix, prices have flattened or dipped. In the Midwest and Northeast, limited supply keeps things competitive. The key takeaway: national headlines don't tell your local story. Zoom in on your city, your neighborhood. The difference can be huge. The market is moving at a saner pace, but it's not a fire sale. Know your local numbers before making a move. Some areas are flashing red lights, especially California, Florida, Louisiana, and New Jersey. These states have the riskiest markets, thanks to poor affordability, high unemployment, and lots of underwater mortgages. In Louisiana, nearly 1 in 5 homeowners in some counties owe more than their house is worth. California's sky-high prices and pockets of joblessness make it fragile. Florida and New Jersey face high foreclosure rates and crushing property taxes. These local crises threaten thousands of families, even as the national market calms. Always check your local risk before jumping in. Still want to buy? Here's your playbook. First, get pre-approved for a mortgage. Know exactly what you can afford. including taxes and insurance. With higher rates, your budget is tighter than before. Use your leverage. Negotiate for credits, repairs, or closing cost help. Don't rush, but don't dawdle. A well-priced home still moves fast. Be prepared, have your documents ready, and act decisively when you find the right fit. If the numbers don't work, don't force it. Waiting another year is smart if you're not financially ready. Renting and saving is a valid strategy. Don't let FOMO push you into a bad deal. Buy when it makes sense for you, not because of market noise. Sellers, the golden age is over. Price your home realistically. Overpricing will leave it sitting and force painful cuts. Base your price on recent local sales, not wishful thinking. Presentation matters. Clean, fix, and stage your home to stand out. Be flexible. Buyers expect concessions, repairs, and negotiation. Respond to requests with compromise, not rigidity. The homes that sell are priced right and move-in ready. Adapt to the new reality, or risk being left behind. In 2025, selling is about strategy, not luck. In 2025, buyers face a real choice: new construction or existing homes. New builds offer modern features, warranties, and big incentives. Think rate buy-downs and covered closing costs. But they're often farther from city centers and come with HOA fees and extra costs for basics like landscaping. Existing homes may need updates, but offer better locations, mature neighborhoods, and character. You might have to do some work, but you gain flexibility and community. Builders are motivated, but don't overlook the value in older homes. Weigh incentives against location and lifestyle. The best choice depends on your priorities and budget. So what's the verdict for 2025? It's complicated and personal. Buyers have more options and power, but affordability is still a huge hurdle. Sellers must be realistic and flexible to succeed. The market rewards those who adapt and punishes those who don't. Your decision should be based on your finances, local market, and long-term goals, not headlines or FOMO. Sometimes waiting is the smartest move. For the first time in years, the choice is truly yours. And honestly, that's a good place to be.